Welcome to World Ego Television Networks, where we'll bring you quality news to your doorstep. Please do well to subscribe. Click on the bell notification so you can get further updates from us. We want to talk about the allegation. Of course, it's no longer an allegation because we have some of the documentations to our disposal of a certain activist group who went to International Criminal Court to press charges against some of the activists who took active participation during the NSAS protests. And the activists, according to them, includes Pastor Sam Adeyemi, Burna Boy, and 48 others. Other defendants listed in the suits are musicians like Florine Falana, popularly known as Falz, and social media comedian Dabo Adeboye, fondly addressed as Mr. Macaroni, and of course a comedian. Marianne Apogi, also known as Taoma, amongst others, dragged to the International Criminal Court for prosecution for their active involvement during the NSAS protests. Also amongst the people dragged to the ICC includes Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria and of course a legal practitioner. He was equally dragged to the ICC by the same group. And these groups were marked to be civilians who have the best interests of Nigeria at heart, fighting those NSAS protesters. Meanwhile, the government officials, the governors, the presidency are using these individuals to fight their fellow individuals, using these civilians to fight their fellow civilians, using these masses to fight their fellow masses in the guise of fighting for the interest of the state. Meanwhile, is the people in authority, the government, the presidency, the governors, and senators and other legislators who are using these groups, who formed this group, just to use them to fight secretly a cold war against those who took participation during the NSAS protests. What could be their reason? Why can't they come out as a government and press charges at the International Criminal Courts? They couldn't come as a government because they are afraid of another NSAS to begin. Secondly, they couldn't come out as a government to press charges because they knew they have failed the masses. Even Buhari himself made a statement saying, "We have failed you Nigerians. Forgive us, for we have not done enough." They couldn't come out to press charges at the International Criminal Court because they think they are politicians wiser than other masses who are not politicians. And the best way they can get back to individuals who protested for their misbehavior, misappropriation of funds, and their crazy conduct as politicians, and also the brutality of police, is to form a group and using that group against the masses in the name of dragging the activists to court. Son, senior advocate of nation, Femi Falana, has said he is not bothered over the lawsuit filed against him at the International Criminal Court (ICC) by the Nigerian lawyer and group. The human rights lawyer, Mr. Femi Falana, said those behind the lawsuits are trying to divert attention from the attack on protesters at Lekki Toll Gate. Falana stated that those responsible for the court actions obviously think that the ICC is the forum for favoritisms and frivolities. He equally made it known that he is going to come to the ICC and defend himself and make people understand that he fought for a good cause. He also spoke to the minds of Nigerians, saying, the governments in power, they are not responsible government, and they don't care about the plight of the masses. He equally advised whosoever who is thinking of forming other groups to do so as soon as possible, so that he will address all of them at once. The federal government also fighting individuals secretly in the guise of NSAS protesters and freezing their accounts without due legal process. Also, they went on secretly arresting, trying and remanding those who took active participation during the NSAS protests. The government against the masses. But what it should be is government of the people, by the people, and for the people. But what we have today is government of the people against the people, using the people against the people. What a sad story. What a sad news. Still talking about how insensitive the government officials can be, our governors can be, our president could be, our senators, and of course those we voted into power to represent us. How wicked they could be. The governor of Kogi State, His Excellency Yahaya Bello, came out on 12th November 2020 on Thursday saying, every loaf of bread you buy, you must pay tax for it. Kogi State government imposed tax on bakers for every loaf of bread produced. An undisclosed levy is to be paid for every loaf of bread produced in Kogi State. The levy will also apply to other products produced by caterers in the state. The Kogi State said collection of the levy will start on November 16th, 2020, and nothing will make the government to go back on their words. Recall that Governor Yahaya Bello at a point refused to admit the presence of coronavirus in Nigeria. He also refused to accept money given by the federal government to other governors to curb and prevent the spread of coronavirus in the state. Today, he is tasking the indigents of Kogi State to pay for every loaf of bread produced, and every caterer producing meat pie to pay per meat pie produced in the states. How wicked could our government be? Let me know what you think. Do you think the government is right by tasking the individuals, taxing them on each loaf of bread? Do you think they should pay this tax, or they should take their governor to court, or they should protest for it? Let me know what you think at the comment section. Until we meet again, I remain your host, Prince Bieliti Jokes. I say shalom and life to you.